Good morning. Kind of a smoky day again. Like I say, you can see the pigeons on top of the cross over there. So the other day with the smoke, you couldn't even see that. So it is clearing up. We're supposed to get rain. But I did get my garage walls poured. So I'm trying to put the dirt out, level them up. And so these metal straps, it's a code requirement now. They think your thing's going to blow off the foundation because we're up here in Washington, so it's not like down in the hurricane or tornado where, you know, it'd be pretty smart to do it, but your building code is like an international code, so you get stuck no matter where you're at. But anyhow, so we're classified as a 2-story here, so we had to do an 8-inch wall, which is pretty stout wall. And so we'll fill our dirt in here, and then this is all my plumbing for our pond. And I got to redo some of it, get it closer to the wall, and then we'll start compacting the dirt and get ready for our floor. Our floor will probably be about 6 inches down on the concrete, and we'll pour all this up and just continue on that way. We did hire a professional outfit to do this thing, and even though they're professionals right now, the good old boys from the back days, which really had pride in what they did, it's sad to say it's not out there no more. I mean, it was a fight the whole time with these guys. They made the wall too small. I had to get them to correct that. It was out of square. They corrected that. And several things. And then he supposedly checked the square right before they poured, and he said it's within 1/8 of an inch, which is okay. Well, it's actually 1 3/4 inches off square. So I've got to figure out, is it off square this way or is it off square this way? Which of these walls? I got to square it up, because if you don't, it messes with you all the way up through your whole building. So you can go online and see what the number is to square this up, and just double check any contractor nowadays. You're supposed to double check yourself, because we're not always good with numbers, and we forget. You know, I'll measure something here and walk over there and think, what was the measurement? So, you know, that's what that pencil and paper is for, your memory. But I got to get to work. So out here we're just filling in our gap, and what you try to do, any bigger rocks or anything, we had actual pavement out here, or it's asphalt, so we broke it up so any of your bigger stuff goes down underneath, and then you pile your dirt on top of it. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is rake all this stuff back to cover it all up. And then we'll take our compactor once I get all the way around and start compacting it, because otherwise it's just going to settle. And it's more important in here where you're going to pour a slab, because you want it all compacted real good. Because if you don't, later on when it does compact on its own and settle, then that's where you get some big serious cracks in your floor, and we don't want that. But anyhow, I figured out the square thing, that we were off like 1 3/4 inches, and what it turns out to be is our end wall, so our door wall. This one where Rocky's laying over here, he's really enjoying all this dirt, but
have to bathe him almost every day.
yeah. You can tell on his bed, instead of tan, it's brown, like poop brown, dark brown. But anyhow, so on this corner here, so instead of being right here on this corner, I got to move it 1 inch out. So that means I'm going to have to heat this thing up and bend it out. And then the same thing on that far corner over there, it's going to, so looking at this thing this way, this has got to shift this way 1 inch. These stay true. This one stays true on that way, except for now it'll go from that corner and 1 inch wide over here. So when I put down my board, we'll just have to compensate for it. But what it ends up being is this comes an inch on the concrete and this goes an inch over the concrete. Which I'm a 2x6, so that still leaves, 4 inches of wood on top of the concrete, which it ain't going nowhere. It'll never know the difference. Only the people watching this video will know the difference. It all squares up pretty close to where I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm okay with 1/8 to 1/4, but not 1 3/4. That's like stretching it. That's like, I don't want to get into that. We got it figured out, so now I just got to fill it in, and then we'll get our boards pressure treated and put them down and bolt them down. Normally you put bolts down in the concrete, and when I'm kind of working by myself, so you got a bolt, so every 6 feet or so sticking up, 2 inches, 3 inches. So when you tilt this wall up, instead of just going flat on the concrete, it's got to go up over that bolt, and you might have 4 bolts that's all got to line up with, versus I'm just going to tilt it up and then drill in anchors and put in anchors later. And I talked to the inspector, and he says he don't like it, but he's okay with it. So as long as he's okay with it, it saves me a lot of hassle and everything else. So it's just going to be, you try to work smarter, not harder. So we'll do that, and that way I'll try to do this wall in 2 sections, more or less. Get it all framed up, tilt it up, and then drill down and bolt it down, and then build that section, tilt it up, bolt it down, and then the same thing over there, and then we can build our end walls, which will tilt up. So gotta get back to work.
Well, time's getting short, and we gotta go. So we'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Oh, in case you forgot, remember to subscribe. See you later. Bye.